Okay, anybody doubt about 81 on the screen? (82), anybody any doubt? Snigdha, you tried all these questions? Okay. 83, anybody any doubt?
Sir, 84.
83, huh?
84, sir.
84, for a line to be normal. Have you not derived this in the class?
Derived, sir.
It is a formula and we derived in the class with the proof. I did not just state the formula. Take the general normal. X1 by a square x by x1 minus b square y by 1 equal to a square minus b square. Compare, get x1 y1, put it in elliptic equation, that x1 y1. Or compare with ax by cos theta minus by by sin theta equal to a square minus b square. You'll get cos theta equal to something, sin theta equal to something, square and that you'll get. That's how we're done in the class. Okay?
Yes, sir.
85, anybody any doubt?
Sir,
85.
Okay. Okay, we have an ellipse and you take a point and draw normal. Any point, it will have one midpoint. What is the locus? Take the midpoint as x1, y1. Okay. Let midpoint be x1, comma y1. Then what is the equation of the normal? A square x by x1 minus b square y by y1 equal to a square minus b square. Not normal, sorry. S1 equal to S1 I should use, sorry. If I take midpoint as x1, y1, the equation of the chord is S1 equal to S11. X1 by a square plus y1 by b square minus 1 equal to x1 square by a square plus y1 square by b square minus 1. Now, for a line to be normal, we have a condition. Just now we saw that if Lx plus My plus n equal to 0 to be normal, what is the condition? A square by L square plus b square by m square equal to a square minus b square whole square by n square. If you don't remember that, you can compare with the general normal and eliminate theta. If you remember that, you can use it. Okay. So what is L here? X into what is there? X1 by a square. This is L. Y into y1 by b square. This is m. And this is x1 square by a square plus y1 square by b square. This is your n. Now you can substitute in this. Okay. What we are doing very simple. We took midpoint as x1, y1. Equation of the chord is s1 equal to s11. It is a line. For a line to be normal, this is a formula. So a square by x1 by a square whole square, b square by y1 by b square whole square equal to a square minus b square whole square by x1 square by a square plus y1 square by b square whole square. This will go up and we will get a power 6 by x square, b power 6 by y square equal to a square minus b square whole square by x square by a square plus y square by b square whole square. Wherever x1 is there, write x. Wherever y1 is there, you write y. If you want, you can even take this one here and say this into this equal to this. Okay. That's all. That is the answer. The answer may look little big, but not, if you know this formula, it is not a difficult thing. Let the midpoint is x1, y1, find the equation of the chord. For it to be normal, apply the normal condition. We apply tangent. If it is tangent, we apply tangent condition. If it is normal, we apply normal condition. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
I think 86 is one of the, in reflection property, we proved this in the class, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And 87, from any focus, if you find perpendicular distance to any tangent, the product is b square. That's only, na?
Yes, sir.
And the feet will lie on auxiliary circle. They mentioned it, but not important. So at 87 is also we discussed. So, anybody doubt about 88?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But it is normal meets the major axis at G and perpendicular from center upon that is F. So it finds PF into PG. $88. All right. So take any ellipse, draw normal at a point, and it intersects the x-axis at F. And foot of C on this line is G. They want PF length and PZ length. Anybody want to give an idea how to find? And there is a constant, how to prove? All right. We'll try to discuss two methods, but we have to really find PF length and PZ length.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, aren't the positions of G and F the inverse? Like G is the point where it meets. F is the perpendicular. That's what.
I interchange G and F by mistake in the figure you are saying. Are you saying that?
I said normal meets the major axis at G. So
okay, I just changed the names of G and F. Okay. All right. G is here, F is here. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay, we want PZ length into PF length. Okay. One method. First of all, finding G is easier. Why? Because if I take a P as theta, I don't want to take in terms of theta, I can take in terms of x1, y1 also. Let's say I'll take P as theta. Then equation of normal is ax by cos theta minus by sin theta equal to a square minus b square, which is a square is. If you want x-intercept, put y equal to 0. You will get x is equal to a e square cos theta. So that means point G will be a e square cos theta comma 0. Now, this is slightly different I'm doing. I'm not going to find PZ and PF length, but still I'll find PZ into PF. How is that? I want to find equation of circle with C and G as ends of diameter. I want to find a circle like this. Okay. What is that circle? X minus 0 into x minus a square cos theta plus y minus 0 into y minus 0 equal to 0. That is x square minus ae square cos theta x plus y square equal to 0. Pg into Pf is nothing but power of P with respect to this circle. Power of P with respect to above circle. Okay, power means S11. Simply substitute a cos theta comma b sin theta here. When I substitute a cos theta here, I'll get a square cos square theta minus here if I substitute a cos theta, a square e square cos square theta plus b square sin square theta. From these two I can take cos square theta common. I will be getting a square minus a square e square cos square theta plus b square sin square theta. This is also b square. This is b square cos square theta. This is b square sin square theta. It will become b square. So it's a constant. It is independent of theta. Okay. So b square cos square theta plus b square sin square theta, which is b square. Okay, we'll also try to find PG and PF length separately. Here we could manage to do the question without finding PG length and PF length. Everybody clear about this point that PG into PF is power of P with respect to that circle?
Yes, sir.
Power means from an external point, if we draw a line intersecting at 2 points at A and B, PA into PB is power and that is equal to S1. Anybody applied for KVPY? Nobody is dropping because of the experience of last year. Okay, this year the syllabus is more related to your mains and advanced. Okay, not like previous year. Anybody is planning to apply?
Sir, do we have biology?
No, we don't have to attempt. Yeah, maybe should talk about it. You have two parts, part 1 and part 2. This will have 20 questions, I think, in each subject. This will have 10 questions in each subject. Okay, maths, physics, chemistry, and biology. In this 4, you can attempt any 3 subjects in part 1. So obviously, you are going to skip
Biology.
and in this 4, you can skip any 2. Okay, so you don't like math, you can skip math and attempt physics, chemistry. Or you think physics is not so scoring, math and chemistry are scoring, you can attempt. Obviously, you are going to skip biology here. Yes. Here among this, one of them you are going to skip. All right?
Sir,
Yes, please.
Sir, we should skip that while writing exam or while applying the test.
Not while applying, while writing it.
Sir, if
Is
we
it
want,
it?
can we attempt all the 4 sections in the first part?
It's a waste of time. They're not going to count. Okay. I don't know. They may take best 3. They may have that rule. I don't know about that rule. Okay. But instead of that, you can. Let's say you are good in biology. You want to attend biology. It's okay. Nothing wrong. Okay.
Sir, what is the last date, sir?
Last date. I sent the PDF, right? Did not see.
No, sir.
In the group, I sent PDF, right? Am I correct or not?
You
Yes,
sent
sir,
it.
yes,
I'll
sir.
see.
Okay. I think time is there. A month is there till August something. Exam is November 7th. But we'll not be able to complete the syllabus by that time. But most of the chapters will be complete. It's good to apply because at least due to that exam, you'll solve 4 or 5 KVPY papers. At least some extra preparation you will do. And always going outside and writing an exam is good. Okay. Here, I may not write the full solution. Method 2, I'll just can give an idea. I already know P, I already know G. Okay. I don't want to find F, but I can find PZ length. I may choose to find PF length as PC square minus CF square. Okay. PC square is easy. Why CF square is easy? From the origin perpendicular distance. Okay. Shall we try it otherwise? Let us see. Method 2. Okay, last year I took some KVPY classes. I recorded the lectures also. I think maybe 2019 and 18, 17 papers I might have discussed. I will send you the playlist link. Sachinana, thank you for that idea of playlist. It really helped me to sort the videos. Otherwise, they were like a big pile and difficult to search. Are you there, Sachinana? Okay. PZ length is square root of A cos theta minus AE whole square, not AE. What is this? G AE square cos theta whole square plus B sin theta minus 0 whole square. This is PZ length. And CF length, is it nice to write as BC square minus CF square? What is BC? A square cos square theta plus B square sin square theta minus CF means from origin perpendicular distance to normal. What is the normal? AX by cos theta minus dy by sin theta equal to A square E square. So A square E square by root over A square by cos square theta B square by sin square theta whole square. Okay, so somehow this product is constant. That's what I have to prove. So this numerator and this denominator should get cancelled. A square sin square plus B square cos square. Will you get that? And this numerator should be constant. A square sin square plus B square cos square. If I under one cos square sin square here, it will come. Anyway, since I wrote, I'll just continue this method too. Okay, I want to simplify PZ. I want to get A square sin square plus B square cos square. Okay, let me do that. This I can write A square into 1 minus E square whole square into cos square theta. This B square sin square theta, I can write B square minus B square cos square theta. I want to get a square sin square plus b square cos square. So I got but minus. This is a cos theta come b sin theta and g is this only. A square into 1 minus b square I can write b square. But what about 1 plus c whole square? It's okay. I want to simplify a square into a square minus a square e square. So that is directly b square, right? No. A square minus a square is square equal to b square. That is a square into 1 minus b square into 1 more 1 minus b square will be left. Okay. So I can write this as b square into b square by a square into cos square theta plus b square minus b square cos square theta. Or let it be b square sin square theta. I can take b square common. That is better. Okay. So I will take cos square theta common, a square into 1 minus e square whole square plus b square sin square theta. This is cos square theta, a square into 1 minus e square can be written as b square by a square whole square plus b square sin square theta. Okay. So I can take b square common and one a square will cancel. I'll get what I need. That's good. So I can take b square common by, that is b common and a common. Here I will be left with b square cos square theta and a square sin square theta. Leave it like that. Coming to this, pc square is a square cos square theta plus b square sin square theta. CF is a square e square by root over a square by cos square theta plus b square by sin square theta whole square. This is a distance from origin to P. This is a perpendicular distance from origin to the normal. I want to take LCM here. This is a square cos square theta plus b square sin square theta. This a square e square I can write a square minus b square whole square. This will go up as cos square theta sin square theta by a square sin square theta plus b square cos square theta. Now if I simplify this, is this part visible? Okay, got it. I will get a power 4 cos square theta sin square theta plus a square b square into cos power 4 theta plus sin power 4 theta. This is a square b square into again sin square theta, no, b power 4 sin square theta cos square theta by the denominator. Now square. A square sin square theta plus b square cos square theta. So this and this will cancel. I just have to prove this is constant. And I prove that this I can write 1 minus 2 sin square theta cos square theta. I have to prove this product is constant. This denominator and this numerator getting cancelled. but this numerator is not constant. Where did I go wrong? Yeah, this is also there, right? Yeah. Minus a square minus b square whole square cos square theta sin square theta. Okay, so when I write here 1 minus 2 sin square theta cos square theta, I'll be left with only a square b square. Okay. The numerator will understand, it will become only a square b square. I don't have enough place to write that, but we almost got it. This is lengthy. The first method is easier, right? Okay. So due to lack of place, I am not writing further. If you write this as 1 minus 2 sin square theta cos square theta and expand this, most of the things will cancel. You will be left with a square b square. Inside the root, it is ab. And this denominator, this numerator will cancel. You will get b by a here and ab here. Okay. So you are actually getting ab by root of something here, b by a root of something, they'll cancel, a will cancel, you will get b square. Okay, this is the other method which is lengthy. The first method is easy. Is it okay? Okay. Can somebody take a picture of this and put in the group? If somebody want to copy slowly later on, they will copy. Or Anushka, you finished copying this?
Yes, sir, I'm writing the notes.
Okay. Anyway, these are doubts clarification, so it's not a problem, but it's. All right. So 88, one way is somewhat easier, one way becomes lengthy. Any doubt about 89? It's a very easy question where the numerators are, one is minor axis, one is major axis, right?
Yes, sir.
And so all of them will get sent. Okay. 90, anybody any doubt?
Sir, 90.
Okay. The question, if I explained, is very easy. Okay. Not at all difficult. The thing is, when can a circle intersect an ellipse at 4 points? Its radius should be less than major axis and more than minor axis. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Correct.
Yeah, you have an ellipse, the radius should be less than, okay. For this ellipse, this is 2c and this is c. For the circle, this radius is 3a. So I think I can easily say c less than 3a less than 2c. Okay. So then I can write 3a minus 3 into 3a minus 2c less than 0. One of them is, it should be between them means it should be positive, negative, right? Okay. You can even say if you want separately that 3a minus c is greater than 0, 3a minus 2c is less than 0. So 3a minus c into 3a minus 2c less than 0. Or in quadratic equation, if you want x to be between alpha and beta, x minus alpha into x minus beta is less than 0. So if I expand this, that's the answer. 9a square minus 3ac minus 6ac minus 12ac. No, minus 3ac, that is also 9ac, plus 2c square is less than 0. Okay, so if that is not there, multiply with minus, you will get another inequality. This question 90 can be there right in the beginning. Somebody can even eliminate y square or x square, will get a quadratic equation. From that also you can tell, but the root should be positive, something like that. 91, anybody any doubt? (92), anybody any doubt? In 92, indirectly what he is asking?
Pole.
He is asking pole. Yes. 93, anybody any doubt?
Sir, once explain questions.
93 is same as that a plus b question, that you take a rod of length a plus b, you mark a point at a distance a from one corner, slide it along the coordinate axis. I'll explain anyway. Okay. Okay, 93, basically the question is, there is a rod of length L, one end is always an x-axis, one end is always an y-axis. There is a point where this is 1/3, this is 2/3, this is L by 3, this is 2L/3. As it is sliding, this point will trace some locus. That locus is an ellipse, and what is the eccentricity? How it is an ellipse? If you take this is theta and this is x comma y, this is x, this is y, this is theta. Cos theta is x by 2L/3. And the sin theta is y by L/3. Square and add. You will get sin square theta plus cos square theta equal to 1. You will get x by 2L/3 whole square, y by L/3 whole square equal to 1. You know, when it is completely lying, we'll get the point at a 2L/3. It is completely vertical, it is L/3, you know, that way also. Anyway, b by a, their eccentricity is square root of 1 minus b by a whole square. 1 minus b is L/3 and a is 2L/3 whole square. That is 1 minus 1 by 2 whole square. That is root 3 by 2. Okay, if you understand the question, it's quite okay. Okay, these are some miscellaneous questions or past year mains question, I think they were kept here. Is it okay, 93?
Yes, sir.
Anybody doubt about 94? You can easily do by objective method when take theta 0, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But even if you take any theta also, you will get 4 points. Obviously, they will form a parallelogram, I think. In that, you find one triangle area, multiply with 4 also, you will get. 95 is theory only. We know tangent and normal bisect the angle between the two focal rays. That's it. Everybody done with single answer question?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And numerical, how many are there? 12 are there. Okay, numerical, if somebody has doubts, we'll discuss tomorrow. At least this I discussed. So let us continue at least something in advanced material today. Theory, what is the last thing I said? I was talking about rotated ellipse and all that, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. One small thing you don't have to write, but you can answer to me. Okay, this is a circle with center 0, 0 and radius 8. There is another circle center 5, 0 and radius 1. Okay. Now, two fixed circles are there. The center is fixed, radius fixed, the center and radius is fixed. There will be a lot of circles like this. Somewhere here, somewhere here, somewhere here, somewhere here, where they're touching the small circle externally and a bigger circle internally. The locus of center of all of them is an ellipse. Why it is an ellipse? And what is the foci? What is the length of major axis of that? Can you try to answer that? Locus of center of the circle touching bigger circle internally, smaller circle externally is an ellipse. Why it is an ellipse? What are the foci? What is the length of major axis? Yes.
Sir, 0, 0 and 5, 0 are foci, sir.
Why?
Sir, means their bigger circle is touching externally, sir. So that the radius of bigger circle will be R1 and that circle be R. Means distance between that center and this will be R1 minus R, and smaller circle and that circle will be R2 plus R. By adding both of them, we will get 2R.
Yes, very good.
R2.
Yes, correct, very good. Yeah. If I take this as P, this as A, this as B, and this circle radius is R, because these are touching externally, can I say PB is equal to R plus 1, C1, C2 equal to R1 plus R2? Yes. And because this circle and this big circle are touching internally, the distance between the center C1, C2 is R1 minus R2. So I can write PA equal to 8 minus R. When I add them, PA plus PB is equal to R will cancel, will get 9. When PA plus PB is constant, what the locus of P will be?
Ellipse.
Ellipse. And A and B are the foci. So these are the foci of that. And 9 is the length of major axis of that. Is it okay, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, same question. I want to change it slightly. We have that big circle, we have that small circle. There are some circles touching both of them internally. Look at this. Or look at this. Or look at this. All these circles touching the smaller circle internally and bigger circle also internally. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
What is the locus of center of that?
Ellipse.
It's still ellipse.
If PA minus PB equals to constant, then what is that?
PA minus PB constant is hyperbola.
Hyperbola.
Yes. Srivatsa, are you focusing on the classes or are you getting distracted?
No, sir. No, sir.
You are doing homework regularly?
Yes, sir. I'm submitting in the class plus.
Okay. Sometimes I'm seeing, not in my class, even other teachers' class. Class is going on seriously, you are simply looking at the screen. I don't know what are you doing.
No, I'm seeing.
Okay, maybe you are enjoying the subject so much. Yes, anybody for this internally touching both the circles case, what is the locus of the center of the variable circle?
Hyperbola.
Okay. Let us see any other comment. Here, what is PB will be? PA will be 8 minus R only. What about PB?
R minus 1.
R minus.
R minus 1.
Ellipse.
Then ellipse only, right?
Yes, sir. Ellipse only.
Yeah, this is not 1 minus R, it is R minus 1 now. And when you add, you'll get 7 here, that's all. It is a little smaller ellipse, that's all. Same foci, but length of major axis is little smaller. Okay, both cases it is. Okay. Then one may ask, when will PA minus PB will come constant? That is, if the two original circles are like this, and I am talking about a variable circle touching both of them externally. Okay, let's say this is 0, 0, radius 1. This is some 8, 0, radius 5. Okay. Now, if a circle is touching both of them externally, then what will happen? Then you'll get hyperbola because this is R and this is R, this is P. PA is equal to R plus 1, PB is equal to R plus 5. Now, PA minus PB will be constant. Then it will be a hyperbola. We will study about hyperbola later. Okay. Okay, one more question. Okay, listen. I'll take a ellipse of fixed shape. Okay. For example, let's say I take Pierce or Mitre sandal soap or something like this. Okay. I will keep such a way that it will always touch these two. One time the ellipse is touching like this. Later on it is touching like this. Later on it is touching like this. It is sliding like this. You can even slide like this also. Okay. So there is an ellipse where this length is 5, this length is 4. Okay. This is 5, this is 4. You can even cut a piece of cardboard of that shape and then slide it. Will the center, as you slide, will the center will move or will not move?
Move, sir.
What is the locus of the center? Anybody want to comment? The ellipse is always touching x and y axis. What is the locus of center of the ellipse? Any other comments? Anybody?
Sir, center doesn't move, sir.
Center moves. For example, if you keep it completely vertical, what is the coordinates of the center? I'm asking you. If you keep completely vertical, what are the coordinates of the center?
3,
4, 5. If I keep completely horizontal?
5,
5, 4. So it's changing, right? Surely. Anybody want to comment on locus? What is the shape or equation of the locus? I want to tell locus is a circle. Anybody want to give an explanation why it is circle?
Sir, but it doesn't full circle.
The position of the center moves, but the distance from the origin to the center doesn't change. Why?
Sir, we will keep the ellipse constant and we'll move the two axis as tangents. We will get director circle, no sir. Means center distance between center and that point of intersection should not change.
Yes. Yeah. So the basic point is, even if it's rotated ellipse doesn't matter. From a point, if you are able to draw two perpendicular tangents, it should lie on the direct circle. Means this distance should be every time root a square plus b square. Am I correct? From a point, if you are able to draw two perpendicular tangent, distance to center is root a square plus b square. So from here to here is always root a square plus b square. However you rotate doesn't matter. It may be here, it may be here, it may be here. When you actually slide it, you may think that it's coming some kind of curve like this. No, it is actually coming not full circle, but 4 parts of the circle. Because it cannot be point here now. Center cannot lie. So it is not the full circle, but from here to here, I think from 4, 5 to 5, 4, minus 5, 4 to minus 4, 5, like that. Only the 4 arcs. But whatever it is, every time this distance should be root a square plus b square. Is it okay, everybody? Okay, let me see if somebody can answer this question. This is a rotated ellipse. This is x-axis. There are two foci. The foci are given. Okay. Let us say this is some 2, 3. This is some 10, 7. Either you can tell me the answer, you can tell me the procedure. How to find this point of contact? And how to find eccentricity? And how to find length of major axis?
Sir, let us take the point as x, 0.
X, 0, okay.
Sir, we will reflect the one of the focus and about the tangent. About x-axis.
Okay.
And we will get 2a is equal to distance between those 2 points.
Yeah, that's very good. Image of focus with respect to any tangent will be collinear with this point of contact. We discussed that, right? Others, I'm asking. Image of one focus with respect to any tangent will be collinear with the other focus and the point of contact of the tangent. And we know this plus this is 2a, so this plus this is 2a. In fact, if you draw this and extend it and draw normal, we know these two angles are equal, and we know these two angles are equal, that is this angle and this angle are equal. So these are collinear. Yes, find this is what 10, -7. Find distance between them will go 2a. This is 2ae. You know 2a and 2ae, I think you can find eccentricity. And how to find this point?
Sir, image of the focus and the other focus and the point P are collinear, sir. We will equate the slope.
Yeah, you can find the collinearity condition, get it. Okay. Apart from this, any other method anybody want to tell how to find eccentricity or this point of contact? Image method is good. Any other method, anybody? That is, I want to find length of minor axis. Anybody want to give a easy idea to find length of minor axis? Even now I can find it because I know 2A, 2AE, but without that length of minor axis. B square will come 21. Anybody want to tell why?
Sir, perpendicular distance to the tangent product is B square.
Yeah, you take ellipse, take any tangent, take the two first side, this perpendicular distance, this perpendicular product is B square. That is one property, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. This height is 3, this height is 7, and the product is 21. Okay, so that is another method. In fact, you know B square now, you know AE, 2AE, you can find A square also. That way also you can know the details of that. Okay. And not only that,
SP
this
plus
triangle,
PV constant.
Yes, what is it?
Sir, SP plus S dash P is constant. From that we can find point x comma 0.
But what is that constant? We don't know. If you know that constant, you can find.
Can we differentiate it to 0, sir, and we equal it to 0?
Yeah, that's also a nice point. That if I take other than this anything else, this plus this is okay more than this plus this. All right. So if P is a variable point on x-axis, PA plus PB is least when P is here. In fact, first in straight lines you have this question. You remember that? If A is here, B is here, where should be P so that PA plus PB is least? You will find mirror image and say PA plus PB is least when they are collinear. Correct? Yeah, it is actually related to that. Yeah, somebody can find PA plus PB, but it is square root of something plus square root of something in terms of x. If it is calculus, it will come. But it's okay. Another thing is, in fact, this slope and this slope, sum should be 0. Am I correct? If this is theta, this is 180 minus theta. If this slope is tan theta, this slope is minus tan theta. Just find this slope in terms of x, this slope in terms of x, sum of the slopes is 0. You'll get x value. Is it okay? Not only that, this point straight below is 2, 0. This point straight below is 10, 0. This is to this is 3:7. Even this is to this is 3:7. For these to apply 3:7 section formula, you'll get this. Is it all right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Just simple similar triangles. Okay. So I'm just giving what are properties we learned, how to use. So one we use is this property is B square. One we use this image is collinear with this. And one we use is these two angles are equal. One we use is the least distance and all. By the way, just a small thing. In physics, in optics, there is something called Fermat's theorem. Okay. What does Fermat's theorem says? Let us say you have a lens or a mirror, whatever it is. If an object is here, let us say, no, let's say image is formed here. Okay. I want object. That means after reflection, light ray should reach. Now, will the light ray go like this? Or light ray will go like this? Or light ray will go like this? Okay. Fermat says light will choose that path which will take the least time to travel here. So wherever this place, this is the least. That is the way light will travel, not any other direction. Okay. And using that, you can prove why angle of incidence equal to angle of reflection are coming equal. Based on the same logic that first straight line we discussed that if this plus this is least, this should be collinear with this. Means what? These two angles are equal, these two angles are equal, so these two are equal. Prove. Even with the calculus, we'll get. In the same way, when first year calculus, we have a nice question, something in our advanced material somewhere. Let us say you are somewhere here and you are somewhere here. Okay. Let us say this whole thing is sand. This whole thing is water. Okay. In this terrain, you can travel with a particular speed. In this terrain, you can travel with only particular speed. Let's say here you can only walk with 20 meters per second. Here you can only walk with 30 meters per second. You want to go from here to here. Okay. Is it going the straight distance is going to take the less time? May not be. Okay, because you are traveling quite a distance at a slow speed. Okay. Maybe you travel little less distance here, little more distance here, doesn't matter. Maybe you'll take less time. Okay. So which path you should choose so that you'll take less time is, again, there is a path where mu equal to sin I by sin r. Snell's law. Okay. Velocity, that is 20 by 30. That is only mu now. Mu is after all what? Velocity in medium 1 by velocity in medium 2, right? Light velocity there. Yeah. So whenever this velocity by this velocity equal to sine of this by sine of this, at that point you go there and this, that will be the least than anything else. Okay. That is also Fermat's theorem. That means we know about Snell's law much before, but the explanation to that, different people gave different things. Newton gave some explanation and Fermat gave this explanation. Okay. You know, if I tell about Newton's explanation, you may laugh. What Newton told, after all, is a mechanics fellow, I think. So what he told is light is like a series of balls, okay, small particles. So balls are hitting like this and they're going like this. If you throw a ball on the floor, it will hit and it will go like this, right? So there's angle of incidence equal to angle of reflection proved, right? And have anybody done this experiment? I don't know. I really done it in my childhood, I can say. You take a water tank or swimming pool or something. You throw any, that is a metal object or something, ball. Ball means immediately it floats. Some heavy object. You throw at an angle like this, at a good speed. In water, it will not go like this. It will go like this. Anybody observed anything of that sort?
What, sir?
Yes, sir. Reflection.
This is water. You throw an object at a good speed like this, a bullet or some metal object. In the water, it will not go in the same direction. It will go at some other angle. It may stop after some time, but this straight line are not in the same line. Okay. So you can give some explanation using physics for a metal, that means for an object. Okay. So based on that, he also explained diffraction, by the way. Okay. Anyway, that is some, it is called Newton's corpuscular theory or something like that. Okay, let us not get into that. I just want to talk about Fermat's theorem. So that is the reason if you take an ellipse, okay, any light ray when you send, why it will go through other point is, all these sum of the distance are equal, na? Correct?
Yes.
So according to Fermat's theorem, light will choose that path which will take the least time. But every path is taking the least time. So any light ray is sent in any direction, it will reach there. Is it clear?
Yes.
If this plus this, this plus this, this plus this is different, light will choose where this plus this is least. But if all are same, light will travel in all those directions. All right, anyway, so today I just asked randomly some questions, but tomorrow I'll discuss some advanced material and your numerical 12 questions out. So still you got one more day to try if you are not right, numerical questions. All right. At least you say okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.